Two dudes, one VHS. Rewind the time, no need to guess. Pop it in, press play, don't stress. It's a movie night, pure retro mess. Old tapes, big last memories flash. We're kicking it back when classics last. So grab some snacks and don't you fret. Two dudes, one VHS.
Hey guys, welcome back to Two Dudes, One VHS. I'm Roma.
I'm Alex.
This is too early in the morning for this right now.
I always feel like when I say I'm Alex, do I have to pause in between a bit? Because it sounds like I'm saying I'm Alex. What the hell's a Alex? It
I
always,
don't know,
in my
man.
head, it sounds like I'm saying I'm Alex. But I'm not. I'm not Malix. I am Alex.
And this is what happens when you start recording too early in the morning. We have these
Very early in the morning.
How was that storm last night for you guys? God.
Yeah, it was very lightning-y,
Yeah.
very thundery.
Yeah.
But I slept through it all.
Of course you did. I did not. Anyways. All right, guys. Today we have a homage to one of the actors that recently passed
Is that
away.
the right word?
I don't
Is
know.
that the right pronunciation?
Homage?
It sounds like you're saying hummus.
No. Homage. How would you like me to say it?
Maybe that's right. Maybe it's
Homage.
better like homage.
To actor who recently passed away this year, legend of a movie that we all watched, whether it was the first one or the 10th one that's now out now. Sam Neill from Jurassic Park. Rest in peace, my friend. You were a legend. You were an honor to watch in all these movies, even though you were only in probably, 4 or 5 of them. But great, great man. Great, great movie.
Yeah, the 4 or 5. How many are there in total?
I think there's like 8 now.
Is there? Are we going full
There's-
Fast and Furious with Jurassic Park now?
Oh yeah, and then they're coming out with another one with what's her name from Avengers, Scarlett Johansson.
They just did one with her.
I haven't watched it then that just shows how much I'm paying attention at this point. I think that
That's-
one's number 9.
That's Dominion. That came out a year or 2 ago.
Did it come out already?
Yeah, it's streaming.
I haven't watched it. It just goes to show you that at this point now, I'm just done. It's been so many at this point. It's like, how many movies can they make about dinosaurs at this point now? The first 3 were good. The next 3 with Chris Pratt, or 4, I can't even remember, were actually not bad. They started to lose the storyline a bit and the premise of the movie. And now, with Scarlett Johansson, I just think they're grasping at straws at this point. All right, so this one was directed by Steven Spielberg. He is a absolute legend. As a producer, he has about 184 titles that he's produced, 27 movies that he's written, and about 58 movies that he's directed. And like basically the list of those main ones are Schindler's List, E.T., Saving Private Ryan, and obviously Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Great movie. The 2 writers in this one are Michael Crichton and David Coep. If I pronounce those names incorrectly, I apologize. Michael did Jurassic Park.
I don't think they'll be very bothered by it.
I don't think so either.
I don't think either of them are listening.
Michael did Twister, which obviously is a great movie as well. And then David did Mission Impossible, which is something that I did not know he was a writer in. Obviously, main actor Sam Neill. He did so many different things, 159 movies. Obviously, the Jurassic World and the Jurassic Park movies he did. He did a few other no-name movies, but great guy. Most of his known stuff is Jurassic Park, and then Memoirs of an Invisible Man. Have you ever seen that one?
Yeah, oh yeah.
No, you have. I have not.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't watch a lot of movies like you do. I watch like mainstream movies.
You see, the Invisible Man is the same property as Dracula and Frankenstein, where the Wolfman, which is all Universal, which is also Jurassic Park. So
Right.
you have to watch the old Universal monsters. Come on.
I don't think I've ever watched any of the old Universal monsters, other than like Dracula's. That's it.
Maybe they'll be on our list then.
But then there'll be ones that I've never watched and you've watched.
Yeah, well, it's
You know
no
how those
different than
went the last time.
these.
You got Lauren Dern, who plays the leading actress in this movie. Obviously, Jurassic Park is her biggest one. Other ones were like Blue Velvet, Marriage Story. I've watched Blue Velvet. I don't know why, but I did. Also, comedic relief in this movie, in my opinion, Jeff Goldblum. This guy, everything that he touches is just hilarious. Independence Day, The Fly, Jurassic Park. He's just too funny, too good. His lines in this movie, his little where he's like just sitting there with his shirt wide open, and it just screams stud at this point. You got the owner of Jurassic Park, Richard Attenborough. He's got a few as well.
Sir Richard
Sorry,
Attenborough.
Sir Richard Attenborough. Great man. He unfortunately passed away in 2014 as well. There was one movie that I watched that probably Alex may have watched or may have not, was Gandhi. He was actually in that movie and it was really good. Now, the one that really irked me that I didn't realize that he was in this movie was Samuel L. Jackson. Rewatching it now, I'm like, that's Samuel L. Jackson. I was like, how did I not notice that he was in this movie
This won't
from
be
the
his
first time watching
role.
it?
He was in Coming to America, but this is one of his really early ones. And
Really?
it's so funny, like watching back this, all the smoking in the show. Like
Yep.
there isn't a scene where Samuel doesn't have a cigarette hanging from his mouth.
Hanging out of his mouth, whether it's like the smallest little bit that's left or a full one. I don't know if he's just grabbing them and like lighting them up again with the other one that he had in his mouth. But you're right, like every scene that he's in, he's got a smoke in his mouth. And then the main villain of this one that everybody loves to hate, Wayne Knight, or as we would call him in the movie, Ned. He's a piece of shit in this movie. I don't like him. And
I don't think he's
he
that bad.
was, what's that?
I don't think he's that bad.
I think he's a douche.
sympathize with him.
Why would you sympathize with him?
Okay, so we'll probably get into it, but look at him. Okay, poor guy. Not many people like him. He's just going into work. He's very underpaid, is from what we are understanding. He's
Right.
upset. He's pissed off at his boss. He wants more money. He's not getting more money. It sounds like every day to me.
But the way that the owner makes it seem is that he went into debt for his own reasons, and that's why he needs the money. Why would he have to give him more money to pay off his own debts?
Well, because he is obviously the most important guy at the park.
Well, based on
He
this movie,
runs
yes.
the park. He's without him. So you pay somebody what they deserve with what he needs. You give it to him.
I guess, but he's still a jerk. He was a jerk in Seinfeld. He's a jerk in this movie too. Okay, he's a jerk.
Yeah.
He plays a great Newman. He plays a great jerk. He is the main villain out of this entire movie.
I thought the T-Rex was supposed to be. What are you talking about?
No, we'll get to that. The T-Rex is not a villain. Not at all. So we start with the opening scene, or do you have anything to add to this before I start with the opening scene? No? We start with the opening scene of them going to the park, and they have the giant cube with what we assume is a dinosaur inside. We don't know yet. We don't see anything as of yet. And they're trying to get the dinosaur into the park. And obviously the dinosaur is smarter than the average dinosaur that we are later going to learn about, and smacks his head into the gate to push the box back for the dinosaur to escape. We get a close-up look of the eyeball of the dinosaur, and we realize that it is a raptor. At least I know that it's a raptor. I don't know about you.
So,
and
here's a question. So, right off the bat, raptor. Right off the bat.
Yep.
Why?
That one, between the T-Rex and the raptor, those two are the most popular dinosaurs, in my opinion.
So they are the most popular dinosaurs since this movie came out in,
Correct.
What is it, 94 or whatever?
93?
93, okay. Prior to this, when we were in elementary school, when we were in maybe even junior high, whatever, when we were into dinosaurs and, schools pushed a lot of dinosaur stuff.
Yeah.
It was the T-Rex. It was the Triceratops. It was the Brontosaurus, the Stegosaurus, the Triceratops. Never did we talk about raptors. Never did any little kid say, my favorite is the raptor. No, nobody knew about the raptor. We weren't talking about raptors.
No, you're right. We were talking about those top five is what you just said.
Those other ones, yeah. Even even the Ankylosaur,
Stegosaurus, pterodactyls.
Yeah.
We were talking about everything else, but not raptors at all.
Yeah, no. And then what's even weirder, now that I'm going on a dinosaur rant, is Brontosaurus was very big. But
Yeah,
now we don't even talk about Brontosaurus. Now we talk about what do they call the long necks now? There's a new name for it.
they said it in the movie.
Yeah, I know. Like I can't remember what it was anymore,
I
but
can't remember either.
nobody says Brontosaurus anymore. But from
Yeah,
what I recall as a kid, Brontosaurus was a long neck,
yep.
which like land for before time.
Oh, don't talk about that one.
But anyways, yeah, raptors. So
That
weird.
still hurts my heart.
So weird that they brought raptors into this. Like it's
But
obviously.
obviously, I think the Raptors are more so for selling features.
Yeah, I guess. And they needed something, I guess, vicious.
Yeah,
They
that was
are.
going to be an antagonist to the T Rex,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So they needed something that was going to be obviously climactic end of the movie. Spoiler alert: there is a fight between the Raptors and the T Rex, right? So like they needed something to, let's say, have that climactic ending between them. So what other dinosaur would be able to fight a T-Rex? Would it have been better to have a Triceratops or a or a Brontosaurus fight a T-Rex, or did it end well with the Raptor and T-Rex fighting?
Right.
Right. So I think they went in the right direction because I don't think it would have been a great battle between the other dinosaurs.
Hmm.
But also, now that you're going on to the rest of the movies, going past this movie and going on to the rest of the movies, you get Blue, the Raptor in the Chris Pratt version, where again, now he's a selling point or a selling feature for Jurassic Park for kids to be fans of.
Right.
So I think they did that on purpose. Maybe they had a plan. I don't know. I'm just
All
saying.
right.
I'm giving up theories at this point. So that's when you see them actually. Now we're off in left field, and I lost my train of thought. Thanks, Alex. The raptor attacks one of the guards. You get your first glimpse of the hunter that the Jurassic Park has, and they're trying to now kill the raptor or basically docile the raptor to stop eating one of the guards that obviously failed at opening up the gate. My other problem with this is why would they have manual gate opens where a person is pulling the gate up and not an actual mechanical one that doesn't open like this because it's heavy door and the guy's trying to open it up by himself. Why wouldn't they have something that actually lifts up quickly to eliminate that? Like I'm looking at the actual park itself. They spared no expense on anything else but the gate.
Well, the dinosaurs are super expensive. So maybe they just didn't have the funds for gates afterwards.
I don't get it. That just made no sense to me at that point. Rewatching it now, it made no sense to me. They literally spent billions of dollars on this establishment and they can't have a automatic gate opener where no human is on top of the actual box itself. But okay. Then you start getting the credits, and the next scene you see is the scummy lawyer going to, I think it's Cuba or Dominican Republic, I can't remember. And they're mining amber. That's what they're looking for. And there's a scene where they see the actual amber with the mosquito inside, and the Dominican guy is looking at it like he's made billions, he's making money, and that's the premise of where they're getting the DNA from. It's from those mosquitoes. I looked into that. It's not possible. There is no chance that they can get any DNA from any insect that's been in amber for 60 million years per se, as the amber would have been hot or anything like that, and it would have caused all the DNA to be invaluable if there was any DNA left in there
Right. Yeah, I don't think DNA lasts in mosquitoes
for
longer.
60 million years. No.
No, I think it's a day or a week or something like that. I don't know.
So we get to the next scene where you see Dr. Allen or Sam and the leading lady, Miss Ellie Satter, are excavating and they are looking at raptor bones. The machine that they use where it shoots a bullet in the ground, that's kind of cool. I thought that was kind of cool. First time ever seeing that movie and now watching it again, I still think it's kind of cool where it like digitizes the bones hundreds of feet into the ground. I thought that was freaking amazing.
I didn't even really notice it.
Really? I thought that tech was awesome like when I was growing up, and now looking at it again, I still think it's awesome to literally just shoot. I don't even know what it was. I wasn't even paying attention at the point because I was in awe of what it was. He explains what it is. But like they shoot these things in the ground, and it makes an image of the bones in the ground. That's yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go on. Stop me if I miss anything. This is where John Hammond's private helicopter comes in, lands, dust everywhere, and he's trying to pitch to them that he has something that they need to come and review so that he can open it up. He has his own private island. Again, snooty old man, private island, lots of money. Didn't really like him in the beginning. Still didn't like him throughout the movie. He just seemed he'd rather have people go there and die until the end. Didn't like it. He pitches to them.
I
What?
liked him.
You liked him? Really?
Yeah, and I don't know. From what I could feel from this early scene with him, is he's essentially their boss, right? He's
Well,
funding the expedition.
he's been funding them like what did he say, $50,000 a year? So
Yeah,
now you're getting the idea of these paleontologists or whatever you want to call them. If I incorrectly name what they are, they don't get paid a lot because they're getting funded of $50,000 a year. Who knows if they have more funding, but they're not getting paid a lot. So you're right. Technically, he
yeah.
is their
So
boss.
if your boss says get on the goddamn helicopter, you get on the helicopter.
True, but again, he's a multi-billionaire, paying them $50,000 a year,
Right.
and now
And
he's going to go and show them.
he probably pays Ned less than that. Which is why he's so
Yeah,
pissed off.
I don't think he's paying Ned less than $50,000 a year. But based on what we're seeing now, you're probably right. He's probably being a cheap ass and paying everybody the bare minimum, except for the lab staff. The lab staff look like they're in cushy little environments of their own, but we'll get to that. So they get on the plane, or sorry, the helicopter to this island. Did he say where the island was? Because I don't recall him saying where the island was.
I don't remember. Yeah.
I remember later on in the movie where he said, "Damn it, I wish we would have opened up in Florida because of the storm." But I don't remember where he said the actual island was. Anybody knows, leave a link, leave it in the comments. So they're flying to the new island called Island Nubler. I don't know. I wrote that down. So you got the two doctors. You have Jeff Goldblum. You have the lawyer, and then later on we see the two grandkids all at this park as they're driving with their jeeps and the what is her name? I didn't write her name down in
Which
here.
one?
The lady,
Ellie? Isn't it
Ellie. That's it. Ellie grabs a leaf and says, "This has been extinct for 60 million years. How is this possible? We haven't seen this. It's poisonous, blah, 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 blah." And Sam sees the long necks. I don't know what they called them in here. I didn't write it down. And grabs the iconic scene of grabbing Ellie's head, turning it to see the long necks. To me, this was an iconic scene. For me, it was amazing. I don't know about you, but was this the first CGI in the movies industry, or was there more CGI before this?
Well, it's definitely the first CGI dinosaurs.
CGI dinosaurs?
Yeah, but first CGI, I don't know. I don't.
It was this scene to me as a kid. Again, 1993, I would have been 12 years old, 13,
In 94?
94 when it came out. Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
Or 93?
That was an amazing scene, seeing all the long necks just walking in there on this movie, and kind of brought a tear to my eye probably when I was a younger kid to see it on the screen like that, because it looked so real. It looked like they were actually interacting with the long neck dinosaurs. It was absolutely amazing. Just seeing them all in awe, looking at them, even though it was CGI, it felt so real that they were actually involved with seeing the first dinosaur alive. Sorry, need my coffee. So as you see, they're all herding towards all the water, the plants, and everybody's again just in awe looking at these dinosaurs. They're seeing the park itself as its fullest. They see how everything's been created specifically for the dinosaurs so that they have food, they have water, they have everything. Now they get to the lobby or the visitor center, and they're going through I guess it's a ride on how it was created. And you see the first Mr. DNA. Now that little cartoon character, I don't know if you've ever played the Lego game.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that I said. I'm like, look, guys, it's the DNA guy from the Lego game. It was fucking great. It was awesome. I was like, so cool. And that was another part of the movie that I thought was cool, is like they were explaining how they created these dinosaurs. Again, misconception with the bug, with the mosquito getting the DNA, but the fact that if you look into it, really, that there are people who are actually physically learning DNA restructuring, and they are using other animals to restructure the DNA to recreate those animals. I don't know if you remember seeing it on the news that somebody created a woolly mammoth.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so apparently they created an actual DNA structure of a woolly mammoth using elephants today's DNA to recreate the woolly mammoth. So it's an actuality, like 20 years, 30 years later, that they're doing this physically right now, exactly the way that the movie explains it. Is they're restructuring the DNA that's lost with DNA of today. So they're going through this ride, and all of them are impatient because they want to go see the eggs. And the egg scene for this one, where the raptor hatches out of the egg, that was another phenomenal scene because it looked so real, but it's, would that be animatronics or puppetry?
I think that was animatronic.
Animatronics, but it was so tiny. Even when it was in his hand and he was like petting it, which when you're watching him petting that little raptor, it looks like he's about to snap its neck. Right? Am I wrong?
Well,
Because he's got that look on his face. He's like, what species is this? And then they're like, well, it's a velociraptor. And he's like looking like disturbed in his eyes and like petting it on the neck. And it looks like he's just about to like rip his head off.
way to go all morbid.
Did it not look like that? Come on.
I will not agree or deny. I don't know.
Wow.
What I am going to ask. So they grow these dinosaurs through eggs. So is a dinosaur giving birth, laying these eggs?
Well, I think they are. So based on what my son has told me, because he was into dinosaurs, that obviously they're saying that dinosaurs are now birds. They basically
Right. No, I
evolved
get
into
that.
the birds.
But we in this movie they talk about how the dinosaurs cannot reproduce their whatever
Right, because
asexual
they're
or
all
whatever.
females.
So
Right.
yeah. So we have an egg, which means a dinosaur laid that egg, or are they DNAing creating the frickin' egg as well? Because it
Well,
seems that
and that was I do have that in my notes. I'm like, how did they get them into egg form? Because so Ned, which I'll get later on into here, Ned is trying to get these embryos for this
Mhm.
third party. Are the embryos converted into eggs? Are they put into eggs? But then watching it, they use ostrich eggs. So if you watch the movie and you look at the lab, it says that they use ostrich eggs to put the embryo inside the ostrich eggs. But then when you
Okay.
look at, hold on, when you look at it hatching, it doesn't look like an ostrich egg. So
Well,
like they contradict what they just said.
I don't know what an ostrich egg looks like. I've never owned an ostrich, but let's say they took an ostrich egg.
Right.
What did they crack it open and then glue it back together after putting the embryo in? Like I don't
I,
understand.
I don't
It's
understand that
it
concept
is a
either.
completely brand new egg. It's not a Kinder Surprise where they could just click it back together. I don't get it. It would have
That
made more sense if the embryos were just grown in test tubes.
in test
You know, like
tubes.
like any alien or horror movie, we see them cloning things in big tubes.
Right.
That would have made more sense to me. I don't understand the egg point.
Yeah, that point didn't make sense to me either. Like I've watched some movies or videos of people like creating chickens from like eggs, where
Hmm.
they just cut the top off and then they give it hormones or whatever, and then eventually it turns into a chicken or whatever. Like this, now watching it now, doesn't make sense based on what we know now.
Right. And then you already mentioned that all the dinosaurs are female.
Right.
Do you know? So we obviously later on we're going to find out that they've been laying eggs throughout the jungle or whatever it's called. You know what doesn't lay eggs? Male
What that
dinosaurs.
male dinosaurs. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you all are so worried, like we made them female, but they can't have, there are no males around, blah 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 blah. How about you just make them all males?
Right.
And then there's
Why did
no
they why did they choose female?
yeah, yeah. So
But
female, even
again,
though there's no males around, a female still has the correct parts to
right.
lay an egg.
Right.
A
Now the
male
problem
dinosaur does not.
is that because see, I don't understand why they would choose female. It doesn't make any sense.
And it, as far as animal kingdom goes, female are always the more vicious.
Right.
They sometimes kill their mates after mating.
That's true. That is true.
Very
So
protective of their young and stuff. So a bunch of dudes. I don't think this would have went this way. If it was just a bunch of dude dinosaurs around, laying around, being lazy, doing nothing.
I guess you're right. That probably would have happened. They would have just done nothing. But again, like you said, later on in the movie, we realize that they reproduce. Would they have males turned into females?
I don't know.
Because they talk about it, right? Like that some amphibians that are in a high male populace turn into female. That's what Sam says in when he finds the eggs, right? He says that the males will turn into females. But then I
So
was like,
then,
but this is the opposite. This is females now turning into males.
so I don't understand the science behind the whole lizard fact where they can do that. But if
Right.
you've got a male one and it does have that lizard DNA to change its sex, would it recreate its entire internals to create a womb and a living space for this egg before it's laid? I don't
But
understand.
also as DNA restructuring, because they're using it, wouldn't they remove that kind of evolution part of the DNA? Why would you put that into there? Why would you just add that? You guys are scientists. You guys know these kind of things, right? So you should have
Yeah.
planned for it.
It's like when I'm baking cookies. You see, I don't like chocolate so much. So
Right.
when I'm baking cookies, I don't put in chocolate chips. When my cookies are done and the oven beeps and I pull the tray out, there aren't magically now chocolate chips in there
Exactly.
because I never put them in to start with.
To start with.
So I don't know.
I don't know. That science behind it did not make sense. Now, as kids, we didn't really care. We just saw dinosaurs, right? But now rewatching it, it's like this doesn't make sense at all. And I guess this brings us to the point of how much research did they do when they did this movie? But again, it's just a movie.
It's just a movie. They just wanted, like you said, potentially the first time they used this type of CGI, they wanted
Yeah.
to do a dinosaur thing. And
Yeah.
they just wanted to show as much as they could and do as
Right.
cool stuff as they could.
Yeah. So then after this point, they go to the raptor pit to see the raptors, and they're bringing in a giant bull and putting it into the raptor pit. And the hunter guy Muldoon warns them that these guys are like smart. They test out everything. They test out every piece of the fence to make sure that it's not electrified. They're high jumpers. And then when he says they're high jumpers, I realize at this point now, again as a child, they're opening up the top to put this cow in. So if they're high jumpers, why would they feed them from the top? Why would they open it up?
But which other way are they going to do? They're going to
Well,
open it on the
again,
side and have them
there's
run out?
no way to really feed them the right way. But again, he literally just says they're high jumpers. They test out all the fences. They know that now if they're smart raptors, they know that feeding time that opens. Why not jump out at that point if they're so smart?
I guess it depends how high that's opening up at. Because they're high jumpers, meaning like proportionally to a human who can do a high jump.
Right.
Like, are they jumping 30 feet in the air or just like 2 times their height?
I guess that's true.
Uh,
Okay.
we don't really, yeah, they just might be like kangaroo kind of thing.
Kind of jumping.
Not like leaps to tall buildings in a single bound type of high jumping.
Right. So at this point, the only thing that we saw that was a dinosaur was a raptor in his hand. We didn't actually see the raptors yet. All you see is vegetation just rumbling around to get to this cow, which was highly disappointing, even as a child, even now. I would have loved to have seen it at the beginning. But the way they did it, anticipation was good. They pull out the harness. The harness is destroyed. The cow is gone. No blood. Again, unbelievable. I don't get that part.
So they're going through a harness every time they feed the
Yeah,
raptors.
but not only that, like when they pulled it out, there's no blood on the harness. There's no bones on the harness. There's no like aftermath other than a destroyed harness. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Watching it now.
Animal cruelty. Don't want to
No,
have the blood.
I get it, but again, it's a not believable now as an adult, not a child,
Right.
not a believable state, right? It's like you guys missed one detail. If there was a little bit of blood on it, that would have been fine. But there was like nothing on it. Nothing. It was just a mangled harness. Again, that's besides the point. So they go back to the visitor center and they're having their lunch and they talk about everything about this, the concept of it. And Jeff Goldblum is basically stating that he's incorrect, that this should not be open. They should not open it. His chaos theory, I'm assuming, is what he's talking about, where, dinosaurs had their time, they were removed, and now humans have their time. Now, if you have humans and dinosaurs together, it's nothing but chaos. And I agree. You have something that's been extinct for 60 million years, there's a reason why. There's no point in reintroducing them. It's a cool concept, don't get me wrong. I would pay good money to go see real live dinosaurs, but not the meat eating ones. Maybe the grass eating ones. Maybe the leaf eating ones.
Those are no fun.
I know they're no fun, but again, it's like I'm thinking lawsuit, right? Like that's, as we get further into the movie, there's a reason why you shouldn't have meat eaters, right? Like,
Right.
if you're going to have a park like this, maybe don't create the meat eater ones. Just create the grass ones first, try it out, see how it is, dot all your I's, cross all your T's with the grass eating ones first, and then maybe slowly introduce like the small ones, like the Dilophosaurus, the ones that shoot acid out of their mouth. Who knows, right? Something small, not a T-Rex or a raptor right off the bat. So at this point, what's up?
We'll cut this section out. Let me know when you're about halfway through your notes, like when we're at the halfway mark.
I'll be at my halfway point after I talk about Ned's trap.
Okay. All
right. Approaching the tropical storm. So I got, where am I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more before I'm halfway.
Okay.
8 more topics. I'm already on Act 2 where they meet the grandkids.
All right.
I missed the whole Ned part in the beginning. I bypassed it. That's my fault.
Whatever. Just keep going.
Okay. So now Hammond basically wants to introduce everybody to his grandkids. His grandkids come in, and you got Lex and Timmy who come in. I'm going to say this with the utmost kindness. These kids are the most annoying kids I've ever met in my entire life in this entire movie. They piss me off completely in this entire movie. The lights, just everything that they've done from when they started to the end makes no sense, and they should have not have been there. Period. End of story.
Well, I'll disagree.
Why?
Well, just because I disagreed about Ned and I disagreed about John Hammond, so now I'll disagree about the kids. No. The girl is the most annoying child on the movie screen I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The boy is just the stupidest boy I've ever seen on big screen. I don't find him annoying in any way. He seems pretty relaxed and chilled, but he's just stupid.
But he's not. He's smart because he knows a lot about the dinosaurs. It's just that he comes off as annoying because he's like, "Did you know about this? Did you know about this?"
Oh,
I read
that's
your
every kid though. Come on, that's.
But this one was
You know your boy when he was huge.
I'm saying both my kids are annoying as shit. I'm not disagreeing, but compared to these two, they're saints. They're angels. Like this one kid, this Tim kid, literally went from being this annoying to like this annoying after the first 10 minutes of seeing him on screen. It was just absolutely ridiculous. And then the girl, her being scared and tremoring, like the worst acting ever. And then the screaming, and it's like, shut the hell up. You're the reason why the T-Rex was doing the shit that they were doing. We'll get to that part because you wouldn't shut the fuck up.
They're just children, Roma. Have a heart.
No. A lot of the stuff would not have happened if it wasn't for those two kids.
Okay.
100%.
We'll see when we get there. We'll see.
So they meet the kids. The kids are annoying. Tim is introducing himself to Grant, Sam, aka Sam, where he's like, I read your book, blah, 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 all this stuff. And you see him going into the car, and then Sam getting out of the car, the kid's following him. He puts the kid into the other car, says, where are you going? Wherever you are. And then the girl turns around, or he turns around, and the girl shows up, and she's like, Ellie wants me to sit with you because it'll be good for you. So at this point, does Ellie want Sam to have kids? Is that the whole point? I don't get it.
I don't get it.
So they're boarding the electric SUVs and goes to the control room. Hammond takes place sitting down and tells Ned to make sure everything is automated and everything is working. And they have an argument where he's like, you need to pay me. And this is where I see Ned as being I think Ned's a gambler and he's got all this debt that he needs to pay. And he's just being a pompous prick to Hammond and saying, I need money. You need me to run this. You need me to do this. I'm the only guy that knows how to do everything. Like you said, he is the brains of the operation. He's automated the 2 million lines of code, whatever. I still think that he's a jerk. They start riding through and they announce the first dinosaur, which is the Dilophosaurus, which is, again, the one that expands its head and spits acid out, first meat eater. No show. There's nothing there. Get to the next one, which is the T-Rex, and the goat comes up and the little girl's like, what are they doing with the goat? And then Tim is like, they're trying to feed the T-Rex. Have you never seen, somebody eat meat before? And she's like, I'm a vegan. As soon as I heard that, like the vein in my head just started to pop. I'm like, you pompous prick. I hate this.
I kind of understood why they made her a vegan, because we've got meat eaters and herbivores in the dinosaurs.
Right.
So it's kind of a little subtle thing that we do it too. We've got the herbivores too. So the fact that later on she doesn't understand, like the boy has to say, that's a metasaurus or something
Right.
stupid. Again, because he's so stupid. Like metasaurus, but having to explain to a vegan that, to me, is funny.
I guess. So again, no show of the T-Rex. And then you see Jeff Goldblum going into the camera. Hello? Are we actually going to see any dinosaurs, or are we just going to be watching plants for this entire ride?
Which is spot on.
Spot on.
Because we did a safari, our families, and we were like, where are all the animals?
Yeah,
and the safari
exactly.
person was like, on the left here is where you would have seen. Awesome. No, this is
awesome.
Love it.
Yeah, exactly. That was horrible. Where you would have seen. That's right. I remember that. That was terrible. So they continue on, and Sam exits the car, and so does Ellie, and so does Jeff Goldblum. The kids stay in the car, or no. At this point, everybody's basically exiting the car, and all you see is Samuel L. Jackson saying, see, I told you should have put locks on those things.
Yes.
I was waiting, now after watching it again and realizing Samuel L. Jackson was in this movie, I was waiting for the MF word to come out at least once in this movie, and it didn't, which bothered me, because I'm like, you've watched every movie with him in it, and he says it at least once. This is the only movie that I've watched, realizing now that he was in this movie, that he did not say it at least one time.
I think it's a rating reason. I think they wanted to keep the F-bombs down.
I guess. Well, that one was PG, right?
I think
this movie?
So, yeah. I think it was 13, yeah.
So they're walking through the forest and they see a sick Triceratops. And that was another iconic moment where you first see, I guess, the animatronics of the Triceratops. It looks so real, looks so amazing. I thought that was kind of cool. Probably expensive as fuck at this point, because that was a massive Triceratops. And then you see Ellie, I guess she's a vet for dinosaurs. It's weird because she knows exactly what's going on by grabbing the Triceratops' tongue and like popping that pustulous freaking thing in the tongue. It was so gross. And then you see Sam on top of the chest of the Triceratops going up and down as it's breathing. And you see another iconic scene of where Ellie is shoulder deep into the Triceratops poop to try and figure out why the Triceratops is dying. Like, that was a lot of shit. Not gonna lie. Now, side question, because I didn't do any research on this. Was that real poop or was that fake poop?
I'm pretty sure it was fake.
Pretty sure it was fake?
I'm pretty sure it was fake. I don't
And then
think I don't think that any of the fake dinosaurs actually pooed.
no, no, no.
I
I
also
know that,
don't
but I'm just
think,
wondering if it's actual poop that they brought
yeah.
in
So
as a.
I don't believe that the director or the producer was having the entire crew just shit in one localized spot during filming in order to build up this big pile of poo. It's potential that they did. Don't get me wrong. Like dedication to the craft is one thing,
Right.
but having all the crew and the actors shit in a pile, I don't think so.
But then also Jeff Goldblum's comment at the after that when she pulls the glove off. I hope you're gonna wash your hands before you eat anything.
So great. I love Jeff Goldblum in everything he's in.
Yeah, I did see that that was an off script. It was made. He did not. That wasn't in the script, so it was a line that he added and it made the cut. That's one item that I saw. So funny though. He is, yeah, everything that he does. Like this character for him was perfect. Absolutely perfect. So now we go back and they do a scene in the control room, and they're stating that there's a warning of this tropical storm. It's coming. There's no escaping it. Where we get the comment, "I wish I would have had my island in Florida instead of where his island was." Again, don't know where his island is, but apparently it should have been in Florida. But doesn't Florida also get storms and hurricanes? Yeah, makes no sense, but okay. At this point, this is where Ned gets up. So this is the part that bothers me about Ned in this movie is that Hammond is talking to him, he's yelling at him, being all cocky, being all, I'm the brains, and then he just stands up and he's all nervous at this point now because he needs to go get these embryos. And he's telling everybody, I'm running a script, I'm doing this, and it's going to turn everything off for about, what did he say, 15 minutes, 20 minutes? You're gonna notice things turning on and off. How do you go from being I'm the brains of the operation, you should be paying me, to hey guys, I'm gonna be like, how? Like, really, how?
Well, that whole scene where he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be going blah blah blah."
Yeah.
I think it's just his socially awkwardness because
But he wasn't socially
he
awkward
doesn't
to
have that.
Hammond
That's his boss.
literally an hour ago. Okay, so you're a piece of shit to your boss, but you're not a piece of shit to your employee, like your colleagues.
Yeah, because none of them talk to me. They don't want to sit with me at lunch. They don't want to talk to me. They don't. They all go out and they pick up McDonald's. They don't ask if I want any. So we don't talk. It's awkward.
Shit. Anyways, if you have the same energy for one, you should have same energy for the other. You should.
You hate this man so much.
So much. I hate him so much, especially as we get on and they're later on in the that annoyed the shit out of me the entire time it was on. I wanted to fast forward it, but there's parts in in there that I didn't like. Anyways, yeah. Okay, so now we see the
Hold
two.
on there, Roma.
Okay.
We're just going to take a minute here. First off, I want to thank all the listeners, all our viewers, anybody who does share or comment. We're going to take a moment to hear from our sponsor for today's episode. I see that look on your face, Roma. Everybody else sees that look on your face too. Don't diss our sponsors. Today, I'd like to say a few words. Do you know that feeling, Roma, when you walk into Universal Studios and you see those iconic rides, those signs, much like Jurassic Park the ride?
Right.
That music starts playing in your head and you're convincing yourself that, this is the day that I'm not going to shit myself on the Jurassic Park ride. Well, you don't have to go through all of that. Thanks to today's sponsor, Amazing Universe Collectibles, they bring you a small piece of the park at home. So, I don't know, you can see this. So this is a Jurassic Park The Ride sign. So Amazing Universe Collectibles, they make replicas of many different attractions at Universal Studios. If you've been and you love it and you want to bring a little bit home, they're on Instagram. Give them a follow, shoot them a message. They can have a sign, whether like this, unpainted, so you can paint yourself, maybe with your family, maybe for a birthday. These make excellent little crafts during birthdays. Maybe you want to paint it. They'll paint it for you at an additional cost. So reach out. It's made by a fan 4 fans, amazing level of detail. That's Amazing Universe Collectibles on Instagram. All right, back to our show.
I'm actually shocked because I was expecting blah 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 so that we could have another one of those videos that we put on Instagram where we were looking for sponsors.
Come on,
You actually got a sponsor this time. Wow, I'm impressed. I'm very 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 impressed. I'm not even gonna lie. I was expecting you to grab just something in your hand and just be like blah 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 blah. That's all I was expecting at this point.
Oh, I should mention, use 2 dudes 1 VHS as a coupon code for a discount.
Yes, yes, you guys. Alex, congratulations on getting our first sponsor. Yay! I'm shocked. I lost my train of thought at this point.
All
now.
right, sorry. Carry on.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. So the storm's coming in. Everybody's getting back into the SUVs. 2 Ford Explorers, which again, great concept of sponsorship for Ford. Gets stuck on the electrified roads or rails, and they're no longer working. Ned's glitch debugging, whatever he did at that point, is now in effect, and power starts to shut down. The electrified fences start shutting down. The phones are down. Everything is now deactivated. Power's out. It's completely gone. And you see the red and the green lights now that were flashing before on the T-Rex Emporium no longer work. And the first thing you see and hear is banging and the scene of the glasses of water rippling. Great scene. I shit my pants just as a kid watching it because we knew what was coming at this point because they were right next to the T-Rex cage, whatever you want to call it. And all you see is the kid looking with his goggles and sees that everything's starting to get ripped out. The electrified wires, everything's getting ripped out. Everybody's in panic and awe. And this is where it starts with these kids pissing me off. Especially the girl, like you said, she's annoying. She is annoying. They're looking in the back. They find the flashlights, and that's the first thing that I'm like, why are you grabbing the flashlight? For a kid who knows dinosaurs, the way that he knew dinosaurs for everything else, he doesn't know that T-Rexes only see motion, right? And then the lawyer, shitting his pants, figuratively and literally, runs to the bathroom and sits in the toilet stall, leaving 2 kids in there by themselves because he's a wuss at this point. The scene of the T-Rex coming out and seeing the lights, and they're like, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off, annoyed the crap out of me. I didn't like it. It was stupid. The other thing that wasn't believable is when the T-Rex put its head down on top of the car and it didn't smash the glass. It only pushed the glass in. You could see one part where the edge of the glass breaks off, but nothing else breaks. And these kids aren't squished to death by a 1,000-pound head of a T-Rex being pushed on top of them. No sense. Zero. Again, as a child, terrified to shit. As an adult, not believable. Any thoughts? Come on. I know you have something. I can see it in your eyes.
No, that's just still tiredness.
Okay.
My biggest problem is coming up very soon. I didn't really think about the whole glass thing getting pushed down on them. Because watching this, I am still just a big kid. I am still just enjoying it thoroughly. I love the practical effects of the dinosaur. I'm glad it wasn't just all CGI. Yeah, the annoying kids, the flashlight, not knowing how to turn off the flashlight. Again,
Right?
that boy is so stupid.
And not even just the boy, the girl too.
Yeah, but she's just more annoying than stupid. Yeah, no, I don't have anything to say about that
No.
scene.
All right. Well, then the scene after this, you see Sam getting out of the car with the flare, and he's waving it back and forth to try and get Sam.
What?
Sam.
Ian.
Sam Neill.
No. Does he? Isn't
Yes,
it
he
Ian?
gets out.
Isn't
He
it
gets that.
Jeff Goldblum that does that? And then
I'm getting to that. I'm getting to
what
that.
was that another
It's-
part? Sorry, I'm getting mixed up
I'm
then.
getting to that. So it's first Sam that comes out and has the flare, and the T-Rex sees the flare, and he throws the flare into the bushes or into the forest, and the T-Rex is starting to go towards the flare because, again, T-Rex is only attack based on
Right.
motion. So then all of a sudden, the T-Rex is starting to move, and then Goldblum comes out, and he's like, hey, over here, over here. And Sam turns around and tells him to shut the fuck up and stop, but he doesn't listen, and he starts running with the flare and throws the flare, but he's still running, so the T-Rex is now going after Goldblum.
Yeah, I forgot
And
why. I don't know why I blocked out what's his
that
name came up
that
first.
scene. Anyways, so then he basically falls into the bathroom and gets covered by palm tree leaves. And this is the scene where the lawyer's in the toilet. T Rex is just staring at him, and T Rex grabs him and rips him apart. And
Hmm.
I didn't see him eat the lawyer. I just saw him like throw him around like a rag doll. But would you assume that the T Rex ate it or just
Oh,
killed it and threw it?
100%. 100% ate him.
100%. Yeah. So that's the part right there. And now you see Sam trying to save the kids out of the car, and Tim is stuck because the frame is wrapped around his leg at this point and can't get out, but he's got the girl. Girl comes out, pulls the girl out. Girl comes up and instantly sees a T-Rex, and the first thing that she does that annoys the shit out of me again is screams. Why? Why do they always have to scream? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It just it annoyed me to the point where like she was the reason why now at this point the T-Rex came back to attack, is because she created that situation, and he grabs her mouth and tells her to shut up, that it doesn't do anything unless it detects movement. Again, she's still, you could hear her as his hand is over her mouth attempting to scream, and it's like, shut up, he's telling you to shut up,
Hmm.
right? T-Rex pushes the car around, they start moving around with the car. Okay, I guess that's true. He's not going to see it, or she's not going to see it. I keep saying he, but apparently they're all females. So she's not going to see it. They climb over the barrier with Tim still in the car. So basically, they've left Tim in the car. No attempt at saving him at this point. Did he want him to die?
Probably.
You think
I
at
would.
this point he's like, screw it, I'll save the girl, leave the kid in the car, I'll just keep going? Like
Yeah.
it's just one kid?
Saving 50% of the kids is better than saving 0% of the kids.
I guess. I guess. So you see as she's choking Sam again around the neck while they're climbing down this rope. Again, stupid kid. And trying to avoid the car. The car gets stuck in the tree. T Rex pushes it over, and you get the iconic roar of the T Rex at this point again. Great, great. My son used to be able to do that roar. He can't do it anymore. Sucks. But that was also a good scene of showing the strength of the T Rex, and also how it ends up for them where they're safe and sound at this point.
Okay, let's
Now,
talk about this where they are climbing down there. So I want you to visualize with me, Roma. So we've got the road
yep,
with the car on it. I don't have a little Hot Wheels here, but the
yep,
car's here. The fence, the electric fence is right here, right?
yep.
Okay. So we'll call this ground zero.
Okay,
Okay, that's zero. The fence is broken, whatever. They go climbing down. The car gets knocked in, starts falling down. How far would you say it's falling down? It's more than one length of a vehicle, obviously.
yeah. I want to say maybe four lengths.
Four lengths of a vehicle. So again, we're at zero here. Four
Yep.
lengths of a vehicle. Let's call a vehicle 5, 5, 10, 15, 20. So let's just round it to 20 feet. Of vehicles more than 5 feet, but we'll
Yeah.
for easy math. So we're
Yep.
going to say down 20 feet. Now, when you're up here driving in your tour vehicle and 20 feet down is ground level for the T Rex, what exactly are you looking at from that vehicle? If the T Rex pen is way the hell down here, how are you going to see anything? The T Rex is down here. Because in my mind, when I watched this as a kid, as a teen, zero was zero straight across, and there was a fence right there. So
Right.
we would see the T Rex on the other side of the electric fence, looking
Right.
right at us, towering above us. But that's clearly not the case because the T Rex pen is lower because that car falls so far down.
I didn't realize that until now that you said that. You're right, because as
You're
you're
there's no
watching the movie, but even as you're watching the movie, they have the goat come up, and it's zero
so
left.
where is this big crevice?
Where did that crevice come from?
Because they don't fall into a crack in the park where they're in this. No, they're now down at this negative, let's call it negative 20 the
Right.
whole time. It's not just a
Unless
little thing
it's
that they had to climb back out of.
unless from the fence to zero is like a 20-foot gap, and it goes down it goes down that 20-30 feet. Do you get
Okay,
what I'm
so how
saying?
did
Like,
the T-Rex get across that then? Because we
yeah,
see him, his foot or whatever,
right.
taking down the
Yeah,
the
yeah, taking
fence.
down the electric wires.
So he was standing right where this huge hole is then,
Right. Yeah,
or
no,
this moat. We'll call it a moat.
yeah, I that's what I was thinking. Maybe it's a moat, but you're right. He goes over top. So,
We never see them climbing out of the moat. They go down, they carry on with their adventure.
right.
So it's like a new ground level down there to the park. So it just doesn't make sense because I don't know how tall you would say the T Rex is next to the car when he's pushing the car
Right.
around. But at minimum 20 feet down, if he's only 30 feet, all you're going to see is 10 feet of his forehead or whatever. Just doesn't make sense.
So I'm gonna say that this was a movie mishap at this point,
I,
because you're
I
right.
think
That
they just needed that action, that climbing down, the car falling on top of them. They needed that suspense, and they created that suspense with this ledge.
right.
But forgot that practically, or in practicality, that ledge shouldn't be there.
You're right. Unless it's 0 and then it goes down to the
But it
fields. But
doesn't go
again,
down in a nice slope because they're
no,
climbing
it goes
straight
straight
down that
down.
street where that
Yeah,
because we see the car nosedive.
right. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. You're right. I just realized that. Of course, you would figure that one out. You're right, because it's ground zero. You see the goat right from the beginning coming up. It's flat lands, and it's literally flat on both sides because you see them going to the Triceratops, and it's a flat. There's no moat
Yeah,
going over, I guess, on the other side. So it does. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Now that you say it, it does not make any sense.
yeah, very strange. Anyways, we'll carry on.
Anyways, so you see the car going down, get stuck in the tree. The girl and Sam are safe on the ground at this point, and cuts to the scene of Ned driving the SUV out of the park, trying to figure out his way. He's lost. He doesn't know where anything is because obviously it's a storm, torrential downpour. Nobody can see anything. Dirt roads, muddy roads, and he crashes the SUV, and he tries to save himself by using the winch on his SUV to pull himself out of the ditch. And you see what was it called again? Dipliosaurus, acid spitting ones. Cute little dinosaurs. It shows the puppetry of his head popping out of one corner of the tree, popping out of the other side of the tree. Cute little thing. And he's like, here's a stick, you dumb dinosaur. Like, he thinks it's a dog. And the first thing you see is the thing popping out of its head and spits in Ned's face. Now, was Ned's door left open on the SUV when he was doing the winch? Because I couldn't recall, and I couldn't
I'd have to go
tell.
back. I didn't catch that.
I honestly couldn't tell because I did rewind it, but I couldn't tell if the door was open or closed. Because when he got back to the car to get into the car, he opened the door.
Yeah.
But
Well, of
when
course,
he left
if
the
it
car,
was open,
did he
the dinosaur shut it out after he got in.
shut it after? So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, did he leave it open and then the dinosaur shut it? Because when he gets back into the SUV, that Dipliosaurus is in there and Ned's dead at this point. He dies, which, yay, he deserved it.
So I'll point out something about Ned. So obviously this is a Spielberg movie. The Goonies was also a Spielberg movie. Did you catch the Goonies reference in this?
No, I did not.
Okay. So we see Ned wearing three different outfits.
Okay.
He wears a Hawaiian shirt, much like Chunk
Chunk.
does. Then he wears a gray coat with I think it was a dark colored shirt, which was
Okay.
the exact outfit Mouth wears. The third outfit is the yellow raincoat, which
Right.
is what Mikey wears. So yeah, all three outfits Ned wears are all three outfits from the Goonies. So obviously a little Easter egg from the director,
Hmm.
which was
And was that planned or was that?
I think 100% planned.
Oh
I
yeah.
think they deliberately put in a Goonies reference. I think
Hmm.
it would be too convenient because all three outfits match like almost spot on.
That's kind of cool little Easter egg. I did not realize that. Now that you're saying it, I do realize it because he's at the resort and he's wearing a Hawaiian shirt. He's in the
Yeah.
office wearing the gray, and then in this last scene, he's wearing the rain suit. That's a good theory. That's interesting.
I'll stop interrupting though. Go.
No, it's okay. You can interrupt. It's fine. I'm used to it right now, so it's all good. Anyways, so Ned's now dead. Yay, he's gone. The embryos are now buried in dirt, mud, whatever you want to say, and that's the end of Ned. Yay, Ned's dead. Now they're back into the control room, and they need to figure this all out. You got again Samuel L. Jackson smoking his mouth, saying that the only way that we could do this is if we turn everything off, power everything down, and then see if it'll reset everything. So they power everything down, turns on the main breaker. So this is what I didn't understand. He turns off 4 breakers, then he turns off the main breaker. That was the last one that he turned off. Then when he turns on the main breaker, but doesn't touch the other ones, everything comes back online. Well, the computers come back online saying, ready for whatever. What about the other 5 breakers? Why didn't he turn those ones on? Why did he leave them off?
I don't know.
Why show those 4 breakers being turned off plus the main and only turn the main breaker back on and not the other 4 that you just turned off? Why not turn those other 4 back on?
I got nothing.
You got nothing? It didn't make sense to me. And then the only way now to turn everything on, again, stupid design of a park, is to go to a main breaker place that's whatever, 500 meters away. I can't remember what distance he said. Take 3 minutes to do. Why have it off-site and not in the same fucking place as where those breakers are? Why not have everything centralized and just have branches for other items? The main is in the main building, the visitor center, central point, center. Why have it everywhere else? Doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense to me. It's poor design. Poor design. I'm sorry. You invested millions of dollars in this park and you didn't even think about having everything centralized and just have, branches off at other places. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense to me.
Maybe they were all existing buildings with existing breaker panels, and he's just built the park around them.
Okay. Again,
I can't afford to move these buildings and these panels.
Main breaker panel should be in the visitor center or central point of the building, not off somewhere else. It should be where everything else is. If you have a computer center and laboratory and everything in one visitor center, as you can see, the laboratory, the computers, everything is in that one space, but your main breaker is somewhere else.
Mhm.
Poor design.
Yeah.
Poor design. Absolutely poor design. So at this point, Samuel Jackson F's off and goes, and Ellie is like, something's wrong. We need to figure this out. It's been more than 3 minutes. Because again, Samuel Jackson said 3 minutes. It's been more than 3 minutes. Her and Muldoon end up going off to see where he is. At this point, you have a cutscene of the 2 kids, or not the 2 kids, a cutscene of Sam trying to save Tim out of the tree and climbs up the tree, grabs him, and turns the tire. Do you think he did that? Again, he's trying to save the kid. He pulls the steering wheel to pull himself into the car. Was that just because he didn't realize that he did it, or was that on purpose? Because he wanted to kill the kid. Because at this point, he already left the kid behind, right? Did he really think, okay, he's like, if I turn this wheel and just move back, car's going down, kid's dead, I only have to deal with 1 kid. I know I'm thinking morbidly at this point, but that's because, like, if I'm going into the car to save the kid, I'm not touching the steering wheel because I know that the steering wheel is attached to the wheels in the car, which is what's keeping them in place, keeping the car in place. I'm already thinking about this. Wouldn't you be if you're trying to save this kid? You're thinking exactly the same way I am. That Sam
Not sure why you're
wanting
trying to kill the
kid.
children, but nope.
So pulls the kid out, starts climbing down, and he noticed that car starts to fall down quickly, and a branch stops the car, and he tells the kid to keep going, run, go, let's get down. Car falls right on top of them. Miraculously, right where the hole of the car is, they don't get squished. Great scene, highly unlikely, but great scene. They start walking off. They find a tree. They sleep in the tree. And back to Ellie and Muldoon, who are walking to the main breaker station. And Muldoon is saying, I need you to run, because he sees that they're being hunted by the raptors. She's like, seriously, yes, run now. She turns around, hits a tree. Bitch, why were you not paying attention to begin with? Why did you hit that tree?
Because in every movie, somebody has to hit a tree or fall or look back.
But then she goes and she's like jungle gymnast over here, and she's like running and grabbing on and swinging these branches like she's I don't know, some gymnastics freaking person. But she first hits the tree. Like, anyways, I'm not going to judge that. She gets into the main breaker area and she's on the headset with Hammond saying, okay, you need to pump it. I've never seen a pump breaker in my life. Have you? I tried Googling it. I've never seen it. I can't find it. But apparently you have to pump it 6 times to energize the main breaker and then push a small green button. Makes no sense. 0 cents. Anyways, she pumps it. She turns the power on. We got power. And then all of a sudden, Raptor number 1 shows up and is ready to attack her. She's grabbing onto the fence for dear life. Like, why are you not just swinging the gate open and running? Why do you have to climb onto the gate first, scream like a crazy woman, and then exit? Makes no sense.
I don't know. You got
Again,
me.
watching it as an adult compared to a child, I'm going to be more, obviously, I'm going to say things that don't make sense now because, again, it was a movie back then. You were in awe. It was for suspense. It was for the, I guess, the screaming factor of seeing the dinosaurs, but it doesn't make sense now, right? She tries to close the gate. She gets the gate closed. The raptors basically ripping the gate off. Now you got Samuel L. Jackson's arm that lands on her, and she's like, "Oh, thank you," and sees it, screams, throws it, and starts running. Now, when did she hurt her leg? She was running right after that. When did she hurt her leg?
Was it when she hit the tree?
No, because she was running and walking fine when she was doing the freaking breaker. It was right after she closed the gate, and then all of a sudden, like, the hand fell on her arm. She was still walking normal, but as soon as she exited the building and ran for dear life, she was limping like a... When did she hurt her leg? And where? People are going to say, oh, when she was trying to close the gate door on the raptor. Great. She was still walking fine until she exited the building. Where did she hurt her leg? Where? I'm sorry. Where did she hurt her leg? Why are you laughing? She's out of the main breaker area. End of the scene at this point. We go back to the Sam and the kids in the tree. And again, I don't remember the name of the dinosaur. I'm going to keep calling it a long neck. Long neck appears in the tree where they are sleeping. And Sam is in awe because he sees it face to face. And then Sam wakes up, or Timmy wakes up, sees it. He's all smiles. And then the girl wakes up and instantly starts screaming. And this is where you hear the stupidness of Tim, where he says it's a herbivore or a vegisaurus, like you said before. And then says that it looks like that the long neck has a cold. Now, the one part that didn't make any sense to me is when Sam grabs a branch of the tree to try and feed the long neck, and then the long neck grabs it out of his hand, and he's like playing tug of war with this long neck like it's a small dog. Not as if, that thing is going to rip the branch out of his hands or pull so hard that he's going to fly out of the tree. Made no sense to me at that point. And then the girl goes to try and pet the dinosaur because everybody else is, and it sneezes. And then Tim comes out and says, "God bless you." That was funny with all the boogers on the girl's face. I was laughing. They get out of the tree. They start trying to walk back to, I'm assuming at this point, the visitor center. And this is where we see the eggs in the tree hole, whatever, in the ground. And Sam is explaining that they've now converted from females to males and are breeding. And comes back to our conversation. This wouldn't have happened maybe if they had made them into males instead of females.
And it was Brachiosaurus.
Brachiosaurus. That's why I heard you're clicking on your keyboard. Okay.
Yeah, I was just double checking.
Brachiosaurus. So they're walking. They know now that they're breeding, and there's a stampede of Gallimimus. I don't know what the hell that is, but a stampede of all these dinosaurs. They're behind this tree, and this is where you see the hunting skills of a T-Rex. Clearly comes out of nowhere and grabs one and starts eating it. And the kids are like, I want to go. I want to go. The girl's like, I want to go. And then Tim is just like, look at all the blood. I thought that was funny. So they're still walking back. You see the Sam and the two kids in the visitor center. Sam goes out to go and look for. Nope, sorry, they're not at the visitor center yet. They're climbing the grid. Sorry, I jumped ahead. Climbing the fence, and I passed this. Nope, I'm out of order, guys. So when Ellie is actually bringing up the grid, I'm going to go back a little bit. I forgot this part. They're climbing the fence, the electrified fence, and Ellie's got the going down the buttons to turn everything on at this point. And now the fence is 10,000 volts. The boy is still up on the fence. Yes, he gets electrocuted. Yes, Sam brings him back to life. But statistically, that kid should have been dead. How did he survive?
Well, it was only 10,000 volts.
Only
We're not
10,000
talking
volts.
20,000.
But
We're talking 10,000. Come on.
But he's got
What is that?
wraps
Like a
around his
microwave
hands from the
fridge?
burns. He's got wraps around the hands from the burns. It's 10,000 volts. He flew at least 30 feet back and at least 20 feet from up high. Yes, he landed on Sam. Great. Sam probably saved a little bit of the force of him hitting the ground. Sam should have had like a broken spine or something based on how fast he was going down from that fence. But like, he should have been theoretically dead. Like, at this point, Sam should have been happy because he was already trying to kill him to begin with. I'm going back to this. I'm pretty sure Sam just wanted one kid. That was it. Looking at it now, like again, as an adult, I'm pretty sure Sam wanted just to save one kid and leave the other one behind.
Maybe he didn't want the boy around because he was showing him up. He knew more about dinosaurs than he did.
I guess so. So now that I've got that out of the way, we see them now at the visitor center. Sam goes outside while they're inside getting food to look for Ellie or anybody. Ellie comes in. She says run. Now, is she saying run to him or is she saying run to herself to get herself to run faster towards Sam?
I think she was talking to Sam.
So she was telling Sam to run?
Why would you have to tell yourself to run?
Well, because you could see that she was panting and like in agony. Maybe she was trying to get herself to run because they didn't obviously run. She basically grabbed him and hugged him and everything. They didn't run. They walked back to the freaking.
But I'm gonna do a small comparison here.
Okay.
So she was panting and what did you say? Panting and
Like distraught, like didn't have like
okay.
the energy
So
or anything
she
anymore.
had to tell herself to continue. So I once went to Red Robin, and they have all you can eat sweet potato fries.
Okay.
And I was on my 7th refill, I think, and I was panting and panicking but I didn't have to tell myself to continue eating. I just knew that I had to continue eating. So I ordered another batch. So I don't know. I don't feel like she was talking to herself.
Okay. They didn't run afterwards.
They
That's what I'm
didn't?
trying to say. Is like they literally like she jumped onto him, hugged him, and then he just grabbed her and they were walking nonchalantly.
Maybe they were tired and they couldn't run. Maybe
Okay.
she had a cramp in her leg again.
Right. So this is where it breaks to another scene with the hunter or Muldoon, whatever his name is, where he's hunting the raptor, and you see the raptor's head, and he's like, "I got you," and he's like clicking his gun, like I don't know if the clicking was loud enough for the raptor to hear. I thought the raptor would attack, but then you see another raptor come out of the end, and he's like, "Clever girl," and he gets eaten. I really wish, even as a child, they didn't cover the face while the raptor was eating it, but I get it for
You're
ratings.
sick.
But how cool would it have been to see the raptor eating that,
You're
doing
sick.
that? I'm not sick. It would have
No
been
wonder
cool.
you don't sleep at night.
I am a little morbid. So then you get the scene of the kids eating all the sweets and all the cake and everything like that right after that, which again didn't make sense to me because it was literally right after the hunter gets devoured. So like maybe 5 minutes. They're that fast that they can get from that area to the visitor center in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. Just
They
just
rode
saying.
a raptor.
They're what?
They were riding a raptor.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so you get the iconic kitchen hunting scene where you first see the raptors opening the door, which blew my mind as a kid and still blows my mind now as an adult that the raptors are so smart that they actually knew how to open up the door and
True.
get into the kitchen. Like that was kind of cool and an iconic part of the movie itself. So they're going around the kitchen and they're looking for the kids. The kids are going around, and then Timmy stops while I can't remember her name again. She goes around the corner and she's telling him to come, and he's like, no, no, no. He's scared at this point. Starts making noise with the ladle, and she goes into a kitchen cabinet, and you see her trying to close the door of the cabinet. The raptor sees it and starts heading towards her. It's a reflection of her, not actually her, and the raptor basically knocks itself out conscious and lands on the floor. Then you see Tim running towards the freezer. Raptor goes in, slides in, face first into the wall, closes the freezer with both the girl and Tim, and locks it. Now, this is the other thing that I didn't understand as we get further on. They go into the control room, and still everything is offline. They don't know how everything is going to work. They can't lock the doors. One of the raptors comes out and tries to open the door while Sam and Ellie are pushing on the door. Little girl, who's apparently a hacker, knows what Unix is. Good for you, girl. And fixes everything on the computer, and the door gets locked. Now, everything's fixed. Sam calls Hammond, says, call your chopper, we're leaving. Raptor breaks the window. He hears gunshots, and Hammond freaks out like a little girl and says, guns! Why? Why? All the dinosaurs are trying to kill you at this point. You already know that we're leaving and you need to get off of this island. And you're worried that they're going to kill the dinosaurs with guns? Are you stupid?
Maybe she's just afraid of guns.
He.
He.
And I think he was saying that he wants to protect his dinosaurs and he didn't want them to be shot.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. All right. Okay. So you hear the gunshots. You see them. They're climbing up the ladder. They're going into the ceiling of the building. And I don't know. One of the tiles comes through. The girl falls over, and the raptor's trying to get it. Now, in this scene, I don't know if you noticed when the girl is faces up, you see the stunt double's face and not the actual girl's face.
Oh, no, I didn't notice.
You didn't notice that?
No.
So it's actually a guy that has a wig on, and it's a guy's face. And then all of a sudden you see it's like seconds. You see the guy's face, and then you see the girl's face get imposed on his face right afterwards. It's like literally split second. Hilarious. It was funny. Pulls him up. They're going into the other room where the skeleton of the T-Rex is and all the other skeletons are, and they're all dangling on top of them. And you see raptor number 1, which is the only one that should be there. It's just the one raptor that knocked himself unconscious in the kitchen. Correct?
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Raptor number 2, as they all fall because they destroy everything, they fall to the ground, shows up on the other side. Now, raptor number 2 was locked in the freezer. Locked. They closed the door, they latched it, and they put the pin in there. So, theoretically, that raptor should not be able to get out. How the fuck did he get out of the freezer?
Well, the other raptor let him out.
How?
Well, they know how
So
to
now
open
not only
doors.
can they open doors, not only can they open doors, but with their giant ass claws, they can grab that little pin and pull it out and then unlock the freezer.
Don't be ridiculous. He used his mouth. And he went, dummy.
Okay.
Or his tail. Maybe he whipped a tail around. It wrapped a little bit around the thing and pulled it out. Remember, we're supposed to understand that raptors are like the smartest.
Out of all the dinosaurs, they're the smartest.
All of them. Plus, maybe, when they were mixing in the lizard DNA, maybe the scientist had a cut on his finger, little drip of scientist DNA went in, making them even more. I don't know, man. Is this what I'm like when you're sitting there watching and I'm talking about a movie?
This is exactly what it's like. Exactly what it's like. So now do you see how annoyed I get when you figure shit out that I don't? Again, it doesn't make sense that raptors in the freezer, it should not be there. Period.
Maybe it's a completely other raptor. Maybe they have 30 raptors running around.
They should only have three. One was already killed.
Well, they shouldn't have any.
Well,
But
they, they shouldn't have any. One was killed and two were left, right?
that we know of.
Okay, I guess whatever that we know of. There could have been more than three. Anyways, so they're
Who
now
only makes 3? You got to be an even number. There's got to be 4 at least. Otherwise, the 2 are going to be hanging out together, and then the other one's going to be left out. It's
but they're always in packs. They're like wolves.
right. Yeah, yeah. So a pack of 2 and another pack of 2. You can't have a pack
Two
of
pack.
3. We like
Anyways, so now all four of them are in the visitor center and they're surrounded by the two raptors ready to kill them. And out of nowhere, T Rex saves the day, grabs one raptor, destroys it like it's a rag doll while the other one is trying to kill it. And they run off. And as they're running off, they are going to the car and they see Hammond. And Sam basically says, I am telling you, as of today, this is not a park to open. And Hammond's like, I agree. But yet 10 minutes ago, you're screaming guns, guns, but whatever. That's besides the point. It shows the raptor and T-Rex fighting again. T-Rex grabs the raptor that's latched on his neck, destroys it, and iconic roar of the T-Rex ending the movie and credits. And it's over. How'd I do, guys?
Hercules, Hercules.
Hercules. That's another movie we should watch. Anyways, I think I did better this time around than the other ones that I've done. I actually stumped you a few times.
Okay, so thoughts besides you hating children and wanting to kill the boy all the time?
I didn't. Sam was the one that was wanting to kill the kids.
Mm-hmm. Overall rating?
Overall rating for me, even though I nitpicked at it, it's still for me an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10. It's still a great movie. It brings back my childhood. It's, dinosaurs. Every kid, every boy wanted to be dinosaurs. They wanted to dig up bones. They wanted to. It's just a great movie. We wanted to be Sam and Ellie. We wanted to be. Some people wanted to be Jeff Goldblum. Some people wanted to be Hammond, where they were rich and wanted to create this kind of park. Right? It's a great movie. It's just so much old school special effects of the dinosaurs, the puppetry, the animatronics, very minimal CGI. There were some parts that were CGI and you could tell that they were CGI. But again, 1993 computer power back then wasn't as good as it is now. But the feeling of seeing the Triceratops, with the dying Triceratops, the T-Rex coming out animatronics, the Brontosauruses, all that stuff in animatronic form was just phenomenal. Looked real, felt real. Movie was amazing. The jump scares were amazing. It was a good movie. What about you?
I love this movie. I could go rewatch it again right now. That one spot with the car falling, I didn't understand because I'm thinking of it as if I'm going to spend a whole bunch of money to go look at Dinosaur Safari, because I'm sure it's not going to be cheap. If the pit is down that low, am I going to be able to see this dinosaur? It just doesn't make sense to me. So because of that, I will drop it down to a 9.5. The T-Rex didn't actually live in the Jurassic period, so there's also that.
Right.
T-Rex and I think raptors are as well are from the Cretaceous period. So they obviously just picked dinosaurs and just called it Jurassic because Cretaceous Park doesn't sound as cool.
That's true. But they also picked from different eras. It wasn't just they had some from Jurassic era, they had some from Cretaceous era. They had some items from different eras, not just one.
Yeah, which is
But you're right. They
weird,
picked the one that rolls off the tongue better.
Yeah, and they just picked the coolest of the dinosaurs that
Right.
they could make and, put into a movie, which fine, they have the right to, but it honestly taught a lot of children wrong.
Right.
But I don't know what elementary schools are like now and what their dinosaur lessons are like. I wasn't one of those little boys who was big into dinosaurs. I was Never that guy unless they were gigantic robot Zords.
Power Rangers.
It was either that way, or they were walking, talking dinosaurs that had jobs and went bowling. But other than that, no, I wasn't
No,
into the bone
I
digging
was.
or stuff like that.
I was into dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe if my parents had taken me to Drumheller ever, then maybe I would have got into it, but it wasn't my thing.
I went to Drumheller probably every 2 years with my parents,
Yeah, no, never
from
did.
like 5 until like 10,
No,
12.
let's be rich.
No, we tented it. It was the worst.
But I guess that's it. I guess we're
That's
done
it.
another episode.
Done another episode. You guys know where to follow us: Instagram, YouTube, Two Dudes One VHS, Spotify, Two Dudes One VHS. Let us know. Comments down below. Comment on Instagram.
Yeah.
Try to post at least every 2 or 3 days on Instagram. At least I'm trying. I don't know. Hope you guys are enjoying the content.
If you guys have a movie that you think we should watch, feel free to post, comment, give us that suggestion. If you want to be a guest, like we've had many guests already in the past, and we've got another new guest coming out soon. If you want to be on the show, just let us know. We can arrange it.
All right. You guys have a good night. Thanks for watching again.
See ya.
See ya.
Thanks for watching Two Dudes, One VHS. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Follow Roma and Alex on Instagram for behind-the-scenes content, and catch the full experience on Spotify too. See you on the next one!